Halftime show thoughts before we move on?
Latina Baddies.
Hey, Latina Baddies, like I said, they might end a world war. I think they have a case to end a world war, Latina Bad. This is going to sound like so much hate, and I swear it's not. Welcome back to the Warner Brothas Podcast. I'm Kyle, joined today by my brother Keenan, joined by Timmy G, joined by Brandon Petty. This is the Tuesday after Super Bowl 60. Fellas, how we doing?
Yeah.
In the drain.
Yeah. Celebrating.
If you know us, if you know the show, you know that Keenan and I are lifelong Pats fans. Tim's a Giants fan, Brandon's a Jags fan. So I'm very interested to get all the perspectives here today. To be honest with you guys, I mean, yeah, there was a Super Bowl. Yeah, it's the biggest American event of the year. But I honestly feel like we don't have much to talk about today. We've had 48 hours to digest. Let's just get light thoughts, all right? Like, Keen, I'm going to pass it to you, but then we can pass it. Let's just get light thoughts, and then I have actual questions for us. So just like quick introduction. We don't give us too much yet, but like just light thoughts on the Super Bowl. 10 seconds or less.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay. I got
whole
you.
Thing.
I got you.
And the comment I'm gonna just say, and this is a duh comment, but like sometimes you need to see something to realize duh comments. Drake May's just not Tom. Tom's never replicated, gonna replicate it again. Like, and obviously we know. I'm not saying he was gonna go on a 7 Super Bowl run. We'll talk way more about it, but Drake May's not Tom Brady, and that's what I got.
Petty.
Not fun to watch. Like, that's the first thing that comes to mind. Like, just not a good game to watch. Like, you'd expect more out of a Super Bowl.
That's for damn sure. Timmy.
I don't know why they didn't try 6 offensive linemen. Like, after the first 2 quarters, man, you got to make some adjustments. That was rough to watch. That was pretty much the only thing that was ailing them, because if he just had a little bit more time for wide receivers to get open, the whole offense looks different. They were even running the ball okay. Just every time he dropped back, it did not end well. So, yeah, that was. I echo what Brandon said. It was kind of boring. Wasn't the greatest Super Bowl watch, but the ending that we wanted to happen up top here happened. So,
yeah. Look, I was hoping that whether it was yesterday, whether it's today, that we would be able to come on here and either you would see Keenan and I in agony, or you would see Keenan and I like popping our shit, especially Keenan, because Keenan's been on the Patriots train for, longer than most, right? Boring game, as we all know. Like, I feel like we're actually not going to talk much about the Super Bowl compared to other topics we may or may not have. But I want to do this. I want to look ahead to 2036, right? Tim, I'm going to start with you. Letty comes up to you. Tell me about Super Bowl 60. What are you going to tell her? What is going to be your overriding memory of this past Sunday?
It's honestly just Will Campbell getting run over, like, all the time. That's all I think of. That one play that was like a false start, and they blew it dead, and he still got ran over. That made me laugh so hard, because I was like, damn, play was dead. He still got ran over, and they didn't even throw a flag or anything. That's what I'm going to remember was, the defense, Seattle's defense just was getting after him and made it hell. That's kind of been the story of the last 2 Super Bowls, was defense kind of took over and made it hell. Yeah, that was it. Hey, I said that there'd be a pick 6 to end it. That was the final score for Seattle there.
It put the nail in the coffin. It wasn't
really
the make or break. So, like, obviously,
they were still
the Patriots score in that drive, a 1-possession game. Game feels completely different with 4 minutes left.
And they were still they were driving. They after the Mac Hollins touchdown, that next drive they were moving it, and then the pick 6 took it all out of them.
What was that? But One quick thing I want to say on that before Brandon goes with his thing in 10 years was they said Will Campbell coming out, the arm length was going to be a problem, and it didn't showcase itself until post-injury, and I know it's the torn labrum thing that he's been dealing with or whatever, torn ligaments he's been dealing with, don't care. He can be an elite left guard, just not. They're going to keep him at tackle, so hopefully he can become better, and like that just means he's going to have to be quicker off the line, and he's going to have to be able to get the pad level. But right now, defenders are DeMarcus Lawrence is just putting his arms and hands in his pads and just saying no. And from there, like obviously you're a lineman, you're done from there. But
Yeah, I'm gonna remember suffocating defense, like because this really like what it was. Like to me, this was one of the in terms of like a football game that I've watched like within the past 5 years, just any game. Like that was some of the best defense that like I've seen like from the pass rush, and this is coming from a defense too that like if you look at the roster, like there's really no like top tier rusher there. Like majority of the pressure comes from the interior from Byron Murphy and Jerron Reed and Leonard Williams. Obviously DeMarcus Lawrence is there and stuff, but like I mean the corner room is exceptional, the safety room's exceptional. And honestly too, like I hate to piggyback off of Timmy, but like Will Campbell, like just getting his shit absolutely kicked in all game long. Like there were plays where like he didn't even stand a chance. Like within a second that the ball snapped, like he's already on his ass. I'm like, as a guy that you take what top 5,
Four.
top 7, top 4, like you expect way more out of him. Especially a guy coming from LSU and the SEC playing against top tier edge rushers. I mean, Drake May just did not have any time to throw at all. Like, I can't remember a game in recent, like, obviously, other than like Kansas City and their Super Bowls, where like you saw, hey, the offensive line's a concern, but like, I don't know, I felt like this one was on like steroids compared to those because it generally seemed that like even when May had time, like there really wasn't time, like because it always felt like as soon as he got the ball, like he was under pressure, like whether it was from the middle, whether it was from the left or the right hand side, like whatever, like. I think there was maybe 4 or 5 plays where I think he actually had the ability to get from his first read to the second read. So that's something that definitely 10 years from now, like, damn, that Seahawks defense was just pinning their ears back and getting after him.
There's a lot that I can discuss, kind of like my thoughts just keep flowing and flowing. I'm now like remembering the game more and more as we talk. And I'm like, Kyle, that upset me. But the thing I'm going to remember the most is that we watched one of the better defenses over the last 15, 20 years, honestly. The Seattle defense was phenomenal. The only person I was able to do anything against them all year, really, was Baker Mayfield in week 2 when they're still figuring out things. And twice Matt Stafford. So you had the MVP of the league with the first game. To me, he was good but not great.
I think he was like 900 yards, 8 touchdowns, no picks.
No picks in all 3 games. Yeah, I was going to say, really, so
that's
you
pretty
wanted
good.
to say, no, I was going to say, the first game he was like 58%, I think 2 touchdowns. So he was good in the first game. They only scored 22, but the second 2, he was phenomenal in both. But anyways, just saying Matt Stafford, you're right. It's just Matt Stafford, the MVP of the league, with Puka, with Devontae for 2 of the 3 games, Kyron, Sean McVay, arguably the greatest offensive mind in the game right now.
Keep coping, Keenan. It's okay. Keep laying it on. It's okay.
Oh, no, I'm not coping at all. This team, there's no cope. Honestly, I thought I was going to have to, but there's no cope. This defense is very good, and the Patriots offense they didn't switch up like they needed to. There wasn't, again, adding the extra offensive lineman. It was Drake May needed a little bit of the Josh Allen switch in his head, and he just didn't have it. Early in the game, it felt like they were playing Denver again, where it was like, we can win this game with 17. Because shout out to the Patriots defense. They only allowed 22, and the touchdown that they did allow was on a short field after a turnover. So the Patriots defense played really well as well. Like that was a Super Bowl caliber defense on our side there. So like they played great. Christian Gonzalez was on his way to Super Bowl MVP if the Patriots managed to come back and win. He was playing phenomenal. Milton Williams was starting to get active in the second half. But, yeah, no, that defense is great. And then offensively, Drake May not just... When he flipped this, he tried to flip a switch too late, and then it led to turnovers because that defense was really good. But Josh Allen in the second quarter of that game's like, if I don't do special things, we're losing this game. And I needed Drake May to do that, and he just seemed to be like, I just can't turn the ball over right now. Like, we'll pick it up, and that seemed like it was just too little, too late. Growth for a quarterback, though. He's only 23.
I think the two things I will remember most about this Super Bowl, the halftime show. I think that bit was the most memorable stretch of this game, to be honest with you. It didn't really get entertaining in this football game until the fourth quarter. Then the other thing I might reflect on is how many teams probably wish they were in the Patriots spot because they probably would have gave a better effort than what the Patriots did. And I just want to say for the record, I kind of predicted this game would go this way. I was like, for whatever reason, I have this feeling that it's going to be a boring game without rhythm. And that's kind of what we got. And I was hoping I was wrong, but that's kind of what we got. And I don't know, man. That shit was boring. I really I don't even fault the Pats because, what you guys are saying about Will Campbell is true, but that was happening the whole entire postseason. And I was hoping the 2 weeks off or the week off in between would maybe, freshen him up. I actually disagree. I was kind of critical of the Will Campbell pick when he got drafted last year because I thought there was position players they could have took that would have benefited Drake May. But I thought through what? He played 14 games maybe in the regular season, 13. He played the majority of the season.
He played very well pre-injury.
He played very well. So I'm not willing to say to move him to left guard yet. If he starts off next season, it's more the same, then absolutely. But he showed enough promise before the playoffs coming back from being hurt to where I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. That being said, Vrabel's got to do something there. I feel like Belichick, to use him as an example, I feel like Belichick in some form or fashion would have adjusted, whether it's a no-huddle offense, whether it's, I don't know, like Tim said, maybe a 6 offensive lineman. I don't know. Do what you did with Harbaugh that one year when you did the whole ineligible receiver thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You got to do something, though. You got to send him some sort of help. You got to adjust. It was a really
cool
boring
thing with
game.
that Patriots roster was we had Gronk, which was a 6 offensive lineman, so they would have just thrown Gronk on the left side and said, "Hey, buddy, you'll be catching a ball on 3rd down. That's it. You're gonna block today." And Brady would have had to, and that's the luxury of the greatest tight end we've ever seen.
And I want to give props to the Seahawks. You guys are right. Their defense showed 100%. Out. I think they're incredibly fundamentally sound. But I thought it was a winnable game for New England. I agree with you. I think they're a great defense. I think they're a dominant defense even. I don't know if they're the 2000 Ravens. I don't know if they're the 2002 Bucks or anything like that. I think if that's the Bills, I think if that's a healthy Broncos, I think we get a better game. I think even if the Texans, if they got Nico, that's probably a little better of a game. Probably would have been jail ball, but it would have been a better game. So
I don't know about the Texans. The Bills would have put up a fight, but I don't.
Texans with Nico
their
and
offensive
defense,
line was.
I think the Texans defense might be better than the Seahawks defense. Oh, I feel like it.
But the Patriots defense wasn't a problem. They held. It was just field goals. So I don't think they would have really done much better.
No, you're
and
correct.
Offensively, the offensive line, that was the only thing that I don't disagree with the Texans. Broncos possibly, and then the Bills. I think just because Josh has ungodly ability that Drake May doesn't have.
I'll give you this.
At least yet.
I'll give you this with the Texans though. Darnold was average, I would say, in this game. He didn't turn the ball over, didn't steer the car the wrong way. Texans would have gave him problems to where I think it's a different game. Maybe to where we're looking at 10-6 going into the fourth quarter type of game. But that's neither here nor there. Whichever. Patriots getting to the Super Bowl for them was a success, which sounds crazy because if I would have said that 5 years ago, 6-7 years ago, that's a sin. You know what I mean? If we're not in the Super Bowl, it's a problem if you're the Pats back in the day. So here we are. They're going to have a better roster, right? They're going to have a better roster next year. We'll see how it goes. But overall, this was a C- Super Bowl, and I think I'm being nice there. Not much. Like, do you guys have a most memorable play? Tim said might have been the false start where Will Campbell still got beat, but like it wasn't like an iconic play from this game, really. So I mean, it was cool.
Kenneth
Walker
Walker's
was great.
run. Kenneth Walker's run where he was maybe behind in the backfield for 3 seconds just waiting. Like that was like one of the elite runs where you're like,
Looked like
that's
Le'Veon
Lev Bell
Yeah.
with patience. And you're like, wait, Lev Bell with patience? Because like he was literally just like, and I go. it took him it took him so long. But yeah, no, that would probably be the most memorable play out of it. Like obviously I'll remember the Patriots plays just because like as a fan, but
I was going to say I'll definitely remember Christian Gonzalez just going up and pass breaking up like multiple times.
Yeah, no,
he was actually on one.
Especially the one where he's got his like arm like
that's
all
the best
like
corner in the game. I don't care what anybody says. You can argue that's the best corner in football. Golly. With that defense came to play. Offensively, we just weren't there. We just weren't there because they got 22 points. Obviously, I'm not counting the pick six because obviously it's not a offensive score. They had 22 points, and it was just every time they got to the red zones, bend but don't break, and then they got the one break touchdown. But at some point in the fourth quarter, you got to just go. Like you can't just continue to play. Like you got to take a chance. So, but man. But I'm with you, Kyle. I'm feeling like this wasn't our year, quote unquote, to do it. I thought we were going to, so I'm not going to try to make it seem like, oh man, I didn't think we had the opportunity. Like it was definitely, this wasn't our year, but I really thought we could have seized an opportunity that we weren't supposed to, quote unquote, seize. But we have a chance to get better in this offseason, but we'll be able to know how good the Patriots are because next year that schedule.
It's a gauntlet
schedule.
Oh boy, I don't know if you've seen it, Kyle.
It's a brutal schedule.
Have you seen it?
It's a gauntlet.
I'm just going to we got Buffalo, Chicago, Detroit, Kansas City, the Chargers, the Dolphins, the Bills again, Dolphins again, Jets twice, Broncos, Raiders, Packers, Vikings, Jags, Steelers, Seahawks in Seattle. Oh boy. When I was reading it off today and I was like, if that's a 12-win team, we are back. That's a 10-win. That's a 7 potential could be 7 if depending on what the offseason looks like, but I'm looking at 10.
Hey, they better suffer no major injuries. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, no, like if a healthy offseason, like we need a really good draft. We need to nail a couple of especially a couple of our first picks. We have 4 6-round picks. We need to maybe find a diamond in the rough. Use some of that cap space we have this offseason to get more offensive line help to continue to build around that. Drake May just needs to continue to get better. Travion needs to take a step. Like there's things this offseason that this team can do, but we need to. Because if we don't, we could be the team. We could be not like the Commanders because they dealt with injuries this year, but like a team like that where you're like, oh, that team was right there. They're not even making the chance to get to the dance because that's a gauntlet of a schedule. But if you get a 10-11 win team out of that makes the playoffs, that's going to show that this team's for real and will be around for a while, which I lean more to that than I do them just being knocked out. But
I'm worried already.
This isn't Brady and this isn't Belichick to where I'm like, again, Kyle, the regular season's beneath us as a Patriots fan when you have Brady and Belichick. It's beneath us. We don't think about the regular season. Are you kidding?
You're not lying.
I wasn't worried about a loss until week 14, maybe. Like, I wasn't concerned about a week 3 loss on to Cincinnati to the Chiefs. What's that going to do to us?
The only games that mattered back in the day were like, the NFC matchups that were first place, and then whoever like the first place AFC teams.
Peyton, Ben, Phillip,
those
Rodgers.
Those were the days.
That was it.
But
and then it was like, wake me up when it's the divisional round and I'll pay attention to the game. What a time.
I do want to say 2 things. One thing that I thought, going back to the game, why didn't Travion Henderson get involved in the passing game? Like that was one thing that like I had to kind of like try to wrap my head around is like, why not try to, like, if you don't have time, like put them in the backfield, put them on Texas routes, put them on, outs or something like that. Like try to do it. And there was just none of that.
Like the Seahawks with
got out of
Shaheed, they made a concerted effort to get Shaheed touches or at least looks. And yet, you're right, they didn't really
Yes.
do that with Travion.
Yeah.
Use him
No,
as
They
a
were
weapon.
doing it with
Travion got-
Ramondre.
Yeah.
had
Travion
a
got
few.
knocked out of the depth chart on the and for most of the receiving because he wasn't good in pass pro, but like it didn't matter at that point because we're getting it anyway.
You're down by 15.
No,
Like,
you're 100%
you know?
right. Did we watch Texas Ohio State last year right before the half? Little screen pass, one move,
to the crib.
gone, like just booked. It's like those are the things where you're like, he has that potential, and that's what we need because there's a bunch of athletes on that side. We only have a few athletes on this side. Let's utilize them because we need to match their athleticism. We're not going to just win this game only schematically. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, I was like, I was confused because I was like, Ramondre is good, but like, if I want like a home run threat back there, because I'm sorry, as great as Ernest Jones is, if you put Travion Henderson out there, Ernest Jones isn't keeping up with them.
Yeah.
Not too many people are going to keep up with Travion.
No.
To be quite
He's got
frank, unless you put a corner on him.
Legitimate breakaway speed, and that could have just opened the game. And I know they're trying to do it a little bit more in the second half, but slow down those pass rushers. Let them get down on third down, even one third down. Just let them get downhill, throw the screen, and just let Travion see and go because he's got that home run potential. We've seen it this year. 450-yard runs this season. We've seen it.
Yeah, they had such a tough time just getting
concerning.
any rhythm. It was unfortunate.
Yes.
Halftime show thoughts before we move on?
Latina Baddies.
Hey, Latina Baddies, like I said, they might end a world war. I think they have a case to end a world war, Latina Baddies.
It's possible.
It was fine. All of it was fine. Again, like it was, as I came in, I kind of had to, it lived up to my expectations. My expectations weren't super high because, again, I'm a person, if I can't fully understand it, I'm not in the setting, it doesn't always play the greatest. So, like, I thought the production around it was really good. I thought that Bad Bunny himself was performing. Like, I think that he wasn't just going up there and just like walking around doing nothing. Like, he was performing. The performance around him was really cool. There was a lot of really intricate things going on. So I thought the performance was really good. It's not great just because I couldn't relate to it. So that's for me. But I'm not in outrage. Like, oh my God, this is a Super Bowl. We have to have an American. Like, that doesn't
I didn't watch
bother.
Kid Rock.
I was not live at home in a trailer. Shout out 8 Mile. But yeah, so I thought it was solid. Not something I'm going to go back and watch myself, but that kind of music I feel like perfect in a club just because like you don't always have to hear every single lyric to be like, but the vibes of everything was good. So I thought it was a really cool performance, but not great.
Fun fact, Keenan, Bad Bunny is American. Puerto Rico is a territory. But,
yeah, well, yes. No, I was being everybody else. I wasn't saying it was not American. It's not speaking American.
Going into it, I was like hesitant to say that I thought it would be good because it would be in Spanish. But when they bring out Lady Gaga, I don't know if this is true or not because I don't speak Spanish. But somebody had said that before she started singing, Bad Bunny says, basically, is this what you guys wanted? And it's a white girl singing in English over a Latin beat. And it makes a lot of sense. He's Latin. It's going to be Latin beats. He's not going to sing in English. It's not going to make sense to sing in English over his music. So that kind of like put it into perspective for me. We're like, yeah, it's Bad Bunny. He's singing in Spanish. Of course, it's going to sing in Spanish. That makes a lot of sense. I thought the production was phenomenal. I thought it was a good show. I probably would have given it like a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. I don't think it was like the best in the world. Like I said in the group chat, I think Kendrick's was better. The last 2 Super Bowls, I think something's wrong with their audio. Something is off. It just sounds like he's talking into a pipe sometimes, and I just don't love it. I noticed it with Kendrick last year too. It just doesn't seem very clear. It sounds like it's echoey or away. I don't know.
It might be the more and more movements and more like production aspect that they're adding around it. They can't have the like precise mics as to where like a lot of performances before was just, hey, we have one sound system. It's a stage. You're moving around the stage,
Yeah,
so it's
and
a
you
little easier.
you barely even get off. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because there were definitely some times where I was like, wow, his mic is in his mouth, and I can tell from audio, not from visuals,
Yeah.
that it's that close. So, I mean, that makes sense. He's running, he's climbing telephone poles. Like, it has to be like that. There's no other way to do it. It was a good show. I really think it was. Definitely better than whatever Kid Rock pre-recorded 2 weeks ago or whatever. So, yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it actually. Like I obviously, like Timmy said, with it being in Spanish, like you don't really know how it's gonna turn out, but like the vibe was definitely there. And like honestly too, like the whole thing they had going on with the maze and like the poles and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
I like that too. And he had a lot of cameos too. Like obviously Jessica Alba was in there, Pedro Pascal, Pablo, whatever the hell his name is.
When I saw Pedro, I was like, was that Pedro? What the fuck is he doing?
Yeah.
And then I see a picture on Instagram after. I was like, that was Pedro. That was absolutely Pedro. Like Cardi B was standing there. That makes sense, I guess, for music. But Pedro Pascal, what the hell is he doing?
Yeah, like I had to double check, so I got on Twitter and I'm like, oh shit, I'm like, that is him. I give it like a solid 8.2. Like I said, the vibes were there, like the performance looked good, like all the props and stuff. Like I thought that was good. I can tell you this much. It was my buddy. My buddy was like, oh, turn on the other halftime show. He's like, I want to compare. So we're like, all right, like whatever. So we throw it on in the background and he muted it. And we got the Bad Bunny one going. We got the volume turned all the way up so we can hear it. And we all kind of just like turn and look at the Kid Rock one and we're all like, yeah, no. Like they're just standing there singing. Like they got like 20 different variations of the American flag in the background and they're like jumping. And I'm like, yeah, no, turn that shit off.
Trump and them had the real Super Bowl on too. That's what was funny about it. Y'all saw the clips of Mar-a-Lago? They was watching Bad Bunny. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I completely agree with you guys. I'd give it about an 8 out of 10. Seeing some of Bad Bunny's performances on TV, like he's definitely a better live performer. And I think that's the case for like everyone who gets the Super Bowl. You got to scale it down so much to 12 minutes and then do like 8 songs in 12 minutes. It's weird. It's almost like you're kind of giving like a career appreciation performance rather than like a real performance that you'd give at a concert. I looked up all the past performers. Keenan named them off last time, and I wanted to look like back into the 90s. And up until like the point where Keenan started off last time, I think Keenan might have started like the early 2000s. Before that, it was pretty safe too. Like I didn't realize how safe they played it. So honestly, like it's only like 12 acts total, like throughout the whole Super Bowl that it's like really like current pop stars, and a lot of them being like the last decade. And I was going through all the performances have been really good by and large. Like Maroon 5, I remember I didn't like, but a lot of these were like really good performances. Like you'd almost like, I'm not a fan of some of the people, like Coldplay I'm not a fan of, but a lot of them have been good performances. Some of them even legendary over the past 10 years. So, but I keep defaulting after every year back to this. It'll never, ever happen now because he's made some career choices, but I can't help but imagine to think that Kanye would put together the best halftime show. Like his concerts, his tour stops were like built around like what a Super Bowl. Like he's got stadium music, like all of the lights, flashlights, like that. Those were made for the Super Bowl halftime show, in my opinion. And he will likely never get a chance.
You could do Good Life. Like you could do, there's so much Kanye you could do, and then he's worked with everybody. So you can bring out whatever feature you want to. Name the person, he's worked with him at some point, whether it's production or being an artist on like featuring on a song. So you could bring out anybody with Kanye. Kanye would be perfect. I think I have a feeling next year it's going to be Justin Bieber.
Interesting. Very interesting.
That's my feeling. And I don't
That's an early prediction.
That's my early prediction, and I think that could work if they wanted to go the female routes. Like, obviously, if whenever Taylor Swift calls, they'll do it because, duh. But maybe a Sabrina Carpenter too, or a Billie Eilish. But I don't like Billie. Like that would be like those kind of couple people there. But
it's gonna be 21 Savage.
Get in
How
Atlanta.
much problem you got? A lot. How many? How many faking their streams? Get J. Cole out there too. Shout out Cole.
Give us all the greatest
I'd
trappers.
love to see a Cole halftime show.
Another person who could just
Interesting,
like kill it, who we'd all be happy about, but has no music out to do it, was Frank Ocean. Frank would be great.
I don't know if he'd be great for Super Bowl.
I think that he could be. I don't know. For me, I think that he could put on I think he's intricate enough of an artist that he could do it.
He's got a lot of slow music, and he doesn't have a lot of mainstream music, though he is extremely popular to where you'd think he's mainstream. A lot of his famous songs.
I don't know. I think I guess for me, the performance of him, he could do it, but I don't know if it'd appeal. So maybe you're right to the masses.
And most of his songs are like drug talk, like Novocaine.
And Tyler would be interesting. I'm not just thinking of people.
Would be very interesting.
Yeah, Tyler would be interesting. That would be a movie. Like, there's a lot of guys out there that could do it. But
completely agree though with him. Lady Gaga confused the hell out of me. I saw her on the screen. I'm like, oh, like that's kind of dope, and she kind of killed it. She definitely killed it. But I was like, that's hella random.
Charlie Puth. Shout out to him. I'm not a Charlie Puth fan, but Charlie Puth. He didn't do too much with it, but he also did enough with it to make it his own. So like, I like that.
It's
I always
possible.
hate it when
Go ahead,
when you bring it back. No, I was just saying, I always hate it when like you'll bring like the national anthem. It feels like you're like almost at the end. And it's like almost you're running it back and then back, and then it's like I was like, okay,
get it over with.
Yeah, like guys, I get we can say free so long and then like golly, but I like what he did.
I wonder if it was audio recorded. It almost sounded a little too perfect. That's the only takeaway I had. I was like, was this recorded prior and he's lip syncing? I couldn't tell. Genuinely couldn't tell. Any memorable commercials from this past Super Bowl?
The Dunkin' Donuts one.
That was a good one. I like that.
That was a good one.
The 90s.
I like the Dunkin' one.
Me and Mom both laughed at that one. I like the Dunkin' Donuts one. That's a good one.
What's the other one that I'm thinking
I think we kind of talked about this. Most of the commercials get like released a week early on YouTube, and you see them as an ad, and it just kind of ruins the experience for me. So like the Budweiser commercial, it was a good commercial, but I had already seen it, so I was like, yeah, it kind of took the wind out of the sails for me there. But yeah, that Dunkin' one was good. There were definitely a couple good ones, but it is not even close to what it was like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, I think they were kind of weak, honestly. Like, majority of them were kind of weak. Like, I felt like it was a lot of sad, like, trying to make people fucking cry and shit. Like sad music in the background and stuff. And I'm like, yo, what are we doing? Like, there was, it might have been the Matthew McConaughey one with, it was Matthew McConaughey and Bradley Cooper, maybe. I forget what they were advertising, but it was like a longer commercial. I thought that was pretty good. There was another one in the Dunkin' one was good. There was another one in the third quarter. I don't remember who was in it or what it was advertising, but it was one because honestly, like after the second quarter, like at that point, like I really didn't care for any of the commercials. So I really wasn't paying attention during the commercial breaks, more so just like conversating with people and stuff. There was one in the third quarter that caught my eye, but I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look because I know I liked Twitter.
The Clyde still coming back at the caught my eye. Not that it was great, but it's just the fact that it's there. Like that's really just caught my eye. It's like, hey.
I thought it was a little overkill with the little the eagle on the back too. Yeah. I was like, all right.
It was like we're American.
This is how American we are.
America.
Petty, to your point with the like the emotional commercials, they'll kind of like stop you in your tracks. Like there wasn't much catching my attention, but there was one emotional one where I was like, oh shit, like then I'm like, what are they trying to say here? And then they get to the end and it's like a fucking insurance commercial. Then you're like, really, what's the point of this? Like, what are we actually doing here?
Yeah, like
if you're like what
trying to guilt me into getting insurance?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
The one commercial, I think it was a McDonald's one, but it was just like they just had the lyrics. It was just a sing along. I was thinking to myself,
yeah,
and I was thinking to myself, I was like, me just sitting here with Mom watching this is not going to hit, but there's probably a few households out there that like are lit and they're like singing along. So that commercial might have hit for them. Didn't for me, but it was literally just karaoke lyrics.
The Coinbase commercial. It was Coinbase. They did one for Coinbase too. With the Backstreet lyrics.
Yes.
We were like, what the fuck? And then they showed Coinbase afterwards. And I remember I was like, damn, that really makes me want to invest in cryptocurrency now.
It might have been Coinbase, not McDonald's. But yeah, no, I just remember the karaoke commercial. Was like, okay.
So
the
bef-
one
Ooh.
you brought up, the prostate cancer one about the tight ends. Yeah, that
Yeah.
one.
Oh,
that was
was
decent. That was decently funny.
And then I remember the Michelob Ultra one where
Mhm.
what's his name is just a ski instructor and he's like teaching somebody
Yeah.
to ski. I remember that one, and then the Pepsi one as well. That one I just
one
looked
I
him
don't
up
rem-
'cause I remembered.
Yeah. I don't know what it was for, but like there was like 2 years ago the one that was just purely about boobs because it was about breast cancer, but I just saw a bunch of boobs on the screen. This year was all butt, and then I ended with Dochi.
the
I don't
Levi.
remember what for Levi's.
Levi's commercial.
for
Yeah,
It was just all ass. Yeah,
Yeah,
I missed that one.
It was
a
almost
whole
like the
thing.
Super Bowl halftime show.
I'm gonna have to
one
look-
point.
Yeah, it was
I'm gonna have to
literally
look
it
that
just
up.
literally. It
Look
was
that
literally
up for
30
research.
seconds, and then it ended with
Yeah.
Dochi and Dochi.
Don't wanna
and
miss a
Levi's.
good commercial,
man
Kyle.
ass
I'm
though.
all for a good commercial. You know what I mean? So
I love
I get
Levi's.
It was like
I get it.
it was like
I
50%
love Levi.
man ass.
Levi.
though.
All right, yeah, we don't want that. We don't want that. You know what I do hate about Super Bowl commercials? The only thing I hate is like whatever the best ones are, not the ones that are super long, but the ones that are like, they're a really mainstream band, or excuse me, really mainstream brand. You end up seeing them for like the next 6 months forever. Like I think was it Michelob a couple years ago or last year that had the pickleball one, and then I swear to God they ran that shit out throughout the rest of the year.
You guys think it's a hit? Yup.
Yeah.
You'll,
Well, here's more of it.
you'll see it until kickoff. I promise
first-
you'll see it until September kickoff.
The first Bud Light commercial with Shane Gillis in it. I remember seeing that one for like a
That's
year
true,
on
yeah.
TV at like
Yup.
a whatever they were at, like a barbecue or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Low key, NBA All-Star Weekend's guilty for this too. You'll get a cool.
Steph is a whiz, the best in the biz. Top selling jersey, you know it is his.
We had to search for that commercial just to find it, just to confirm that we actually saw it. Because like we never saw that commercial again. That's a
We
funny
saw
story
it
in
once
itself.
before All-Star Weekend, and then never
I think it was in the
saw
finals
it.
even. I think it was after one of the
you're
finals
right.
games.
No, Kyle, you're actually right. It was like game 3 or 4 of the 2016.
I was like, did you see that whack ass commercial too? And you're like, yeah, never saw it again. I think we might have found it on YouTube one other time. So what the fuck is
wait
that?
a second. Like, what?
The other commercial they played the hell out of was, I don't know, God, this was probably 10 years ago. Remember the Dorito Ninja commercial where they were eating the dude's chips in the locker room, and the guy's got like a Dorito Ninja costume on, and he's got like a shuriken, and he's just like shaking people with Doritos in the throat
I
and shit.
wish I did.
Sounds vaguely
They
familiar.
played that one for like 4 or 5 months. The guy, the only part that I really remember, the guy like had a Dorito in his throat and was like, Tim's coming. And then he just falls over.
Doritos has some bangers. I'll give them that during
Doritos does
during
do
the Super
calls.
Bowl especially. But the NBA playoffs, they almost need to like come up with something for like Super Bowl based commercials because they'll play the same 3 fucking commercials, like Allstate and 2
They
other
do.
ones. Like they played the hell out of the Backstreet Boys one with like Chet Holmgren and SGA a couple years ago.
Yes.
Um,
NBA is good with when it comes to just like whatever song is trending because like an album will drop and they'll just like throw. Like I remember right after Damn came out because it came out in April. Damn was all you heard throughout that playoff run. Like they literally just took your like loyalty, DNA. Like we're just going with Element. We're throwing the whole thing. And that's all you hear in all playoff run. NBA loves a great. So J. Cole's album. Well, unless there's something else that comes out, will probably all you hear be instrumentally throughout the rest of the playoffs, which not a problem. But it's just something I always notice that they do.
Before we move on to the next segment, Keenan, you've mentioned one of our parents throughout this podcast. Shouts to our mom. Our dad wanted me to bring up. He said he bet you at halftime $15 and you would not take the bet. And I think the Pats were only down 9. He's like, I want you to let him know how disappointed I was that he could not back his team for even $15. So that
I would have lost $15.
You thought they were losing at halftime too? At 9-0?
I would have ultimately ended up losing $15.
sure.
I already
sure.
had money on it. I already had enough money on the Patriots. I was like, I don't need to add insult to injury. And this $15, it's not like I'm recouping a bunch more. So I was like, you know what? I am done putting any wagers. I am allowing this to play out as it's going to play out. Just how it's gonna be. That was my thoughts and feelings.
Good response.
Shout out, Dad.
Good response. We alluded to this on our Saturday podcast, our pre-Super Bowl podcast. O.J. Simpson's NFL Worst Man of the Year. There's 4 of us here. Do we have candidates? I see Tim nodding his head. Tim, do you have a candidate?
Of course I have a candidate, and it kind of just gets even better, I feel like, post-Super Bowl here.
He says better.
I'm taking Stefan Diggs, man. He has all these allegations come out before the season.
He was a minus 115 favorite going into the Super Bowl. He might be plus 130 with James Pierce. We'll see.
Yeah.
He was like minus 115.
James Pierce
going
really putting in some effort here at the end. Season's not over, he says. But yeah, he has all these issues, allegations before the season even started with past girlfriends, and then while the season's going on, his maid or chef comes out and is like, "Yeah, this dude has like beat me up multiple times, choked me out, all these things," and then he's with Cardi B, and now they're broken up, and the rumor is that he was sneaking off with some girl post Super Bowl. And that like played a large role in it. And it's like, yeah, that's just a piece of shit attitude, piece of shit like mentality.
Post Super Bowl, like how long did he take to get out of the locker room to get to like
straight up
freaking
like
off?
Yeah, like fucking see ya, Cardi.
I gotta go grab something real quick, Cardi. I'm gonna meet you.
Never.
You're right.
Cardi, so we just lost a game. I'm gonna go talk with the guys. I gotta go back to the locker room. I'll be there probably a minute or two. Drake was beside himself, and I'm one of the leaders, so I'll be back there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back, hang out with Drake and console him. It's a tough time.
Yeah.
Yeah, my entry is Stefan Diggs.
Solid entry. Petty, you got anybody?
Yeah, mine's going to be the man of the hour right now, and that's James Pierce. Like,
fair, very fair.
When I sent that ESPN notification in the group chat, like I was on the couch and I literally was just like, I think my mouth was open for probably about 10 minutes. I was like, what the fuck? Like, apparently he just wants to go GTA. Apparently he's tired of waiting for GTA 6, so he's just making a new version of it, a real life version, just crashing into Rakia Jackson. And then hitting a police officer with the vehicle too. Like he's got 5 stars right now. And honestly, 5-star prospect for the worst man of the year.
Golly.
It was an extremely late entry. Extremely late entry to the contest.
There was a
that CTE is already kicking in.
Pre-onset CTE. There was some quote from somebody he went to high school with, and the quote was just like, "I don't care what coach gets him, this man is crazy. He has major anger issues." And I was like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. It does seem like that.
Yeah. And mine's James Pierce as well. And I know that it's new, and like there's other people who have been trying their darndest to make the list. I know Stefan Diggs Stefan Diggs was there, and we'll have a Hall of Fame someday. We'll go through who the Hall of Fame is, maybe during the off season. But
yes,
like,
yes,
yeah, like we'll need something to talk about during the off season. We'll make a Hall of Fame for this. But like Rakia Jackson, let me just talk a little for the people who don't know. 4th pick in the WNBA drafts in 2024. She was with Caitlin Clark, Cam Brink, Angel Reese. Rakia Jackson, very good basketball player. Averaged 14 last year, was averaging 15 and a half during Unrivaled. Like legitimately a bucket. From the University of Tennessee. She is very, very good at the sport of basketball. Not that this makes it any better or worse or anything, just highlighting who Rakia Jackson is. And then very well liked, very well known. And then James Pierce is like, you know what? Not happy. I'm not happy. Are you kidding me? Why would I do this? Like, what? I'm not happy. So he's gonna just crash it. I've been like gaining more and more information. I was like, at first I was like, oh, just some domestic violence. I was like, what happened? Okay. Oh, he crashed SUV. Oh, he's hitting police officer. Oh,
can you just say just a little? Can you just say just a little domestic violence?
No, I didn't mean it in that sense. I just meant like, okay, so just like there's like that. It just keeps getting worse and worse. And it's like, what are we doing? Man, you were probably runner up for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Like, you had a good season. You What are we doing? What are we doing? Man, the money doesn't change you, it just enhances who you are. Golly.
Dad.
Man.
I definitely
Man,
agree.
oh man.
I definitely agree with the statement of, money enhances who you are. But with some of these NFL football players, like, I think some of these guys are not even, I think, like, it's proven that guys like James Pierce are just like batshit crazy. Like,
Yeah.
like one of the reasons why Michael Jordan's one of my favorite players, Keenan, is like, I believe this about like Jadakiss with rap too, Keenan. Like, I believe if money wasn't involved, MJ would be somewhere. Kevin Durant's like this too. Kevin Durant would be somewhere
Kobe,
just like
rest
hooping.
in peace.
They would just be somewhere hooping. Jadakiss would be somewhere rapping. James Pierce Jr. and guys like him, they'd be doing this crazy shit no matter what, no matter where, for the love of the game. And Isaiah Stewart too. We'll talk about Isaiah Stewart maybe in part 2, but I cannot wait to talk about that. My nomination, this is going to be kind of boring because we got 2 for James Pierce. It's going to be 2 for Stefan Diggs too. This was a very entertaining plotline to follow as a Patriots fan. He, of course, had a kid with Cardi B in November. He also had a kid in April. That's messy enough. He was already with Cardi then. That's messy enough. You'd say, like, if that was one of our friends, like if that was Brandon Petty, we'd be like, wow, Brandon, that's a crazy year, man. Like, you had 2 kids within like 6 months. Like, it's kind of crazy. He also had 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 3 or 4 kids born in 2025. That's impressive numbers. That's sicko numbers. And kind of harmless compared to James Pierce, kind of harmless. Like, it's definitely not great to have fatherless kids, but like, we assume these kids
Man, shooting from half court.
Kyle thought Tyreek Hill was going to have 2 kids through the span of a football season. He just didn't. It was just the wrong player. It was just Stefan Diggs.
Was that my bold prediction this year? That was this year?
It was either this year. I think it might have been last year.
Might have been last year.
I think it might have been last year.
I think it was last year.
But anyway, I just thought about it because you just said 3 in 2025. I was like, yeah, Kyle had that as a bold prediction. Just wrong person. He would have hit it.
It's impressive numbers. Do we have any other nominees? Does anybody have like any other honorable mentions?
I can't think of,
because there was like 2 or 3 that came out just on the Pats, like going into the postseason.
Yeah. No, to be honest with you, these are the 2 that just kind of swept away from me. It was kind of like the MVP race to me this year, where it was really just Drake and Matt Stafford, and then the rest of them were like fighting for 3rd. So I don't really have anybody fighting for 3rd, but golly, I'm excited for this Hall of Fame. We're going to have to get a ceremony, first ballots. Like, it's going to be a...
Well, look, since it's 2-2 and it's split, and I recognize Diggs. Diggs is the more fun story, but for the spirit of this award, the worst man of the year, and I don't know. I was about to just award it to James Pierce Jr., but then again, like, worst man of the year, you're fathering 4 or 5 kids in a year. I don't know.
And cheating and beating people up.
Like, true. That's true.
Here's the thing. I think James Pierce has to win Worst Man of the Hour, but Worst Man of the Year might be Stefan Diggs because he's been this all year.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
he owned the year. He owned the year.
Like, yeah, like, you made it a hot line, I made it a hot song kind of thing. Where it was like, man.
This would be like if someone was like leading an NBA MVP and then there was like a distant second, but then that distant second broke Wilt Chamberlain's record on like the last day of the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, he scored 101 on the last day of the year. So what do we think? We going Diggs? We going Pierce? What are we thinking here?
I'll go Diggs.
Insult to injury. You lose the Super Bowl. You lose Cardi B, but you do win the NFL's WBPs.
You made a valid point, Keenan. Like, he owned the year. James Pierce Jr., very late entry. The latest entry possible, if we're being honest. I would say, like, congrats to him, but no, not congrats to him, because his NFL career is probably over 5 felonies. And honestly, like, let's be clear here. Like, we're having fun on this podcast. We don't wish any harm on anybody, but we also like recognizing some of the insanity that goes on in professional sports. Fellas, any other NFL topics before we go? It doesn't have to be Super Bowl related. Actually, I got a question for you guys. each of you give me one way too early Super Bowl winner. Super Bowl 61 winner.
Ooh.
Not gonna lie, I think people love to do this. Seattle.
Oh,
It ain't Seattle.
repeat.
I don't think so. I think it's so hard to get back to back.
It is, but
Even like Philly's loaded team didn't get back to back. I think it's the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about.
That's
Timmy.
music to Petty's
I
ears.
think they get there. I think they get over the hump next year. They got to the playoffs. They've got experience. They took the Bills right to the line. I think the Jags would have beat the Broncos. So I think they probably would have beat the Patriots too. I think next year could be their year. This could be a really important draft for them. They could easily load up right here.
Love that pick by Timmy. I actually am going to agree with Keenan, though, with Seattle.
Ooh.
I don't think there's ever been a Super Bowl champion that has like $80 million in cap space coming off of the Super Bowl win.
True.
Like, I know they got guys to pay, but like, they got assets. Like, they had probably the best, if not one of the best, front offices in football. Like, John Schneider just does a hell of a job drafting. Obviously, they got to pay K9. They got to pay. They got to pay Kobe Bryant, a couple of other guys.
and it might not be this year, but probably next year they'll rework Sam Darnold's deal, depending. But like right now, reason why I'm leaning them is last time Seattle beat up on somebody in the Super Bowl, they were right there the next year, and they were hike away from winning again. I'm not mad at it, but they were just a hike away from winning again. So these things you can do in mini spurts. And I think the Eagles even had potential to run it back 2 years, like obviously have the potential to run it back, like, but they just for some reason short circuit and they don't know how to, like, they just can't be happy. I don't see that happening in Seattle. You got a young, so right now, yeah, but obviously we have a right to change our opinions, but like right this second, maybe prisoner of the moment, it's fine, whatever.
Difference with the Seahawks this particular year, that division's still going to be tough. Niners and Rams are still going to be there.
Matt Stafford said he's coming back.
Yes.
True. That's true. I'm actually going to go with the Detroit Lions. And I kind of alluded to it towards the end of the season. They're going to have a last place schedule. And I would be lying if I said this wasn't my whole basis for this. I think they very well could have a year like this year's Patriots or like the Eagles' first Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts, where they just have such an easy schedule. And maybe it won't be easy. But the fact that it's a last place schedule mixed with that division, which is tough, which maybe could balance it out. But if they were able to stack some wins early, depending how it gets, the schedule gets ironed out, they could be in a situation where they could just be playing on divisional weekend by default. They get that bye week. Then you have 2 games at home. Obviously that'd be very beneficial. And as we've said before, they have a ton of talent that for the last 2 years has been riddled with injury. So if they were to get a good, clean bill of health, which you never know, I think they've got a good shot at it. And then the Bears.
I have one quick question.
NFC North.
I have one quick question off of that.
Mm-hmm.
What is one team this year that I'll say didn't make the playoffs or didn't win a playoff game, so they didn't make it at a wild card weekend, I'll use, that you feel has a chance to at least be one of the Final Four teams next year?
Final Four? That's a good question.
The Jags. Double down.
Jags. I think Travis Hunter comes back next year, and I think Travis Hunter makes a big presence, big impact.
Completely forgot they had him. It just
We're
fuels
going to
the
play
fire.
offense too.
Yeah.
Non-playoff teams?
I know you said the Lions, obviously, so like that would be probably your option.
Aside from the Lions, because that's too easy of a pick. Why not the Saints?
Ooh. I was hopeful for a bold
Final
one.
Four, that would be tough.
That would
Becoming
be
a
tough.
playoff team, I think I'd be on board with, like, I think they could win their division. I believe that.
So
Final Four would be extremely tough.
Final Four would be extremely tough.
I was thinking maybe the Packers.
Packers, the Vikings are interesting if they can figure out the QB because like they have everything
They
else.
can't.
So they'll have a third place.
They
I
can't
heard
do it.
rumors that maybe Kirk Cousins might be an option for them.
Yeah, I saw that because
is
they
dark.
said Atlanta's looking to cut him.
Atlanta's another one. And speaking of Atlanta,
I could see
James
Washington bouncing right back.
yeah, Washington was another one that I thought was
Washington,
interesting. Then obviously
Giants could be there.
Giants,
wanna- I didn't
Bengals,
wanna
and the
say it.
Ravens. You
I
always
didn't
want to
wanna
put
say it.
faith in.
Call me crazy, but if they make the right moves, you could talk me into the Saints potentially pushing for a wild card playoff spot next year.
Definitely.
I like Tyler Shuck. I think if they bring in some receivers, some skill position guys, with Kellen Moore, I think it's possible.
While we're at it, I mean, you mentioned Keenan teams that lost in the first round, and talking about the NFC South. What if the Panthers had some talent?
Mhm.
You know, listen, I'll probably
Shore
be
up
on the
the D.
Panthers bandwagon. I'll probably have to. I need Bryce Young to be good for some reason.
Imagine we're here. Imagine we're
Have
here
no
a year
reason.
from now. Imagine we're here a year from now, and it's Clint Kubiak who led the Fernando Mendoza-led Raiders to the Super Bowl. Imagine all the crazy shit that would have to happen for us to even get to that point.
Hey, all I have to
there
say
were-
is Jaden
I'm sorry.
Daniels, number 2 pick, did it. Year
Mhm.
1, so
That's true.
we've been continuing to see rookies do very well.
I'm talking about winning the
As, like,
Super Bowl.
No, winning the Super. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying we've seen rookies do very well, but that. Oh my God, the Raiders winning the Super Bowl would be a movie for the world. You'd see so many. I've not been a football fan forever. Raiders fans coming out. I've been repping this for a while, man. Ken Stabler jerseys would be all littered all over the place.
Jesus.
Look, I don't know about you guys, but I would say since the first KC Philly Super Bowl, I think that's the last like bona fide classic that we've had, right? So it seems like everything is lining up for next year to be like a banger Super Bowl. It's on Valentine's Day, which is gonna be like the biggest like pick your poison type of day. Like every guy's gonna have to like really situate their day next year on Super Bowl / Valentine's Day Sunday.
We doing Valentine's Day brunch now, so
Yeah,
we can
right,
make
exactly.
time for the Super Bowl.
6 a.m.
Oh, no.
breakfast for the
Yeah.
Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Like you better have
Dude.
your ass up at 8 a.m.
I feel
Right.
bad for West Coasters, man. Yeah, they're gonna have to.
Straight up.
That's tough.
So
Hey,
between
we
About-
can do this tomorrow.
Yeah, say we're about every. I mean, Patriots make it tough, but about like every 5 years you get one. It's been about 5 years.
Yeah.
I was saying,
Eh,
so like you get.
we were hitting
one
a
every
high
about 5
percentage
years.
last decade, like
Well, I
second half
mean,
of 2009.
The Patriots were in it. It was going to be almost a bona fide classic every time.
We gave you
Like,
nothing but bangers. We were due for a drop
except for
off.
the Rams one. Like,
Yeah, that Rams one was god awful.
yeah, the Rams one, but like
Five
I
out of
mean,
6.
when you're 3 before are the Eagles, the Seahawks, and the Falcons, not in that order, but like if those are your 3 before.
And then the 2 Giants losses before that.
And then the 2 Giants losses were just very memorable games. The Panthers-Patriots Super Bowl, one of them more underrated Super Bowl. That was a really good, fun game.
Shootout.
The Eagles one was solid, and then obviously the beating the greatest show on turf. Yeah,
Greatest show on turf.
2017. Sorry, I don't know why to me that was not the nickname for that, but the greatest show on turf 2017. Yeah, so
All right, last NFL question of this podcast. Last question of this podcast. What's the one thing, like your biggest storyline you're going to be looking forward to in the NFL offseason? And we'll start with Brandon Petty.
Oh, that's a good question. God, there's like 5 different ways that I can go with this. Normally I would go something with the draft, but like there's really nothing like it's really just Fernando Mendoza this year. It's not really like I guess something that I'll be paying attention to is like what Philly does with like their offensive staff. Or just like what do they do to kind of like fix that offense? Like that'll be I don't know if it'll be the most interesting thing, but it's one thing I can think of right now. It's just something that I'll pay attention to. Like who do they bring in an OC? Like is AJ Brown gone? Like do they ship him away? what did they do with the offensive line? Just kind of stuff like that. Just to kind of give you a quick one off the top of the dome.
I like it. Timmy,
I
what
think
you
I'm
got?
just looking forward to getting a lot of injured players back. I feel like a lot of star talent went down this year. Whereas normally we see like a few stars and then just a lot of like pieces that help out. Nah, this year was like a ton of stars. Mahomes, Micah Parsons, Malik Neighbors, like there's a ton. So just getting those guys back makes the league better.
Yep. For me, it's going to be, I would say Burrow, but I think he's just going to be there. Like, I would love for him to go. Like, that could be the biggest boom. But really, realistically, where's Kyler Murray going to play football next year? I think, like, he has a chance to make some teams interesting. And if he's able to, like, utilize all the talent that he has and how good is he still, like, what does he look like on Minnesota? That could be interesting. What is it if Rodgers retires? What does he goes to Pittsburgh? What does he look like if maybe Atlanta? Like, there are some options where he could play quarterback there, and if he is actually gets back to Pro Bowl level Kyler Murray, you're like, oh, okay, that team actually is interesting. So it's just how committed to his football is he, and where is Kyler Murray going to be playing football next season? I think could be a really interesting thing this offseason.
This might be a little too on brand, given how I've talked about this league the last 2 years, but I'm honestly going to be fixated on both North divisions, AFC and NFC, especially the AFC North, given all the coaching changes there. I'm really intrigued and low-key intrigued by the Browns. Like, what are they actually going to do at QB here? They've said Monken might bring a veteran QB, and that would add more chaos. Like, I don't know. And then obviously the Ravens having a new coach. What direction are they going to go in? Kid, you mentioned the Bengals. Like, are they actually going to try to like build this defense? Are they actually going to try to like add some help to this offensive line? Like, I really want to know. Like, we're gonna find out a lot about this Bengals team just between now and June, truly. So, yeah, we'll know how their season's gonna play out just by what they do in the offseason, Burrow or not. To be honest with you.
100%.
Listen, that was the Super Bowl 60 review show from the Warner Brothas Podcast. I got to say, and we've mentioned this a few times, guys, I think this NFL season flew by faster than any NFL season ever. And it usually flies by, but man, it seems like just yesterday we were doing our predictions for the NFL season.
Great season.
Great season. It was an A+ season with a C+ Super Bowl, C- Super Bowl. But hey, sometimes you have that. We got fireworks all season. From week one on, truly, to be honest with you. Any final thoughts before we go? Any final NFL 2025, 2026 postseason thoughts before we sign out of here?
No. I'm ready to go on.
Well, you know what that means. You know what that means. Next time you see us, we'll already be talking about the 2026 regular season. So this was a fun season. We had a lot of fun talking, but we'll have even more in store for you for next NFL season. You're going to hear more NBA. Again, we've mentioned before, more NFL offseason talk. We've got a lot for you in the coming months. This was the Warner Brothas Podcast. Spotify, Apple Music, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Follow us. Keep commenting. We love it. We love the support. We love the hate. We'll be back. Peace.